I appreciate all the fans I had. Hate me or love me. You watched. That's all you could do. Thank you.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jobbers and Goons, and we have not done a beef video in a very long time. And it's personally one of my favorite series to do. Typically, we do so on fictional topics, for example, Deadpool versus Black Panther, if you want to go check out the old ones. But time to time, we speak on real beefs. For example, Will Smith, Chris Rock, we spoke on that a long time ago. Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, shit like that, pun intended. And if you guys are a fan of beef videos and the content I be posting daily, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe as well. Let's try to get this to 200 likes. That would be amazing. Check out my Discord. I've recently started a massive project called Rebooting Fiction, where essentially I go back to different verses and completely reboot them as if I have complete control. I allow the fans to interact with the project as well, including purchasing passes to the server as well, up to even collabing on the project. It's been really fun so far. I started with Marvel, DC, and Naruto. So definitely join the Discord and hit me up if you are interested in joining the Fix and Fiction project community. But anyways, guys, getting back to this. This is a beef video, a real life one, right? It's taken the YouTube scene by storm. I've known about both these characters, one being Moist Critical or Charlie versus Sneako, right? I've known about both of them for probably similar amount of time. I think I've known about Moist Critical for like a year plus. I don't really watch this side of YouTube that we're talking about. I usually watch sports and shit. And then Sneako does like commentary and stuff and hangs out with Andrew Tate. Like that. So that's the extent of them, right? Well, they've been caught up in a massive fucking beef. So I'm here to report on the beef. I'm going to give you guys both sides of the beef. You're going to let me know at the end in the comment section what you think so far. I'll give my opinion on the end, who I think is winning so far, because this is potentially an active beef. We are not quite sure if the block is hot. You know, we saw Moist Critical say he's probably going to leave it alone after this. Who knows? This shit could escalate. We don't know. But anyways, getting into this, how did this all start? Well, Sneako's kind of known as like edgy content, and he had a take where he talked about this movie Cuties on Netflix, which was, I don't know why the fuck Netflix even thought that was a good idea. It's like a movie about how the kids are sexualized, and it literally sexualizes kids in the movie. What a fucking conundrum, right? Like just a mistake. Like literally, if mistake was something besides just the word, if that was material in existence, it would be this fucking movie, right? Mistake, right? Like, nobody in their right mind should say they like that movie. Just nobody. Like, it's absurd to even think that movie is good, right? That's pretty much the consensus with everyone. With a Pulse, Sneako came out with a video, like, supporting it, like, saying the movie was dope and shit like that. It's wild shit. Like, just absolutely wild. And Moist Critical, or the Charlie dude, commented on that. It was like, dude, first of all, this movie's wild. Anyone who likes it's ridiculous. And the fact you're supporting it or even saying it has like any substance, you're wild as shit for that. Like, that's disgusting. You're a creep for that. Like, shit like that. And he kind of left it at that. Well, Sneako couldn't let the beef end there, right? The beef proceeds to keep escalating, and I will say it takes some wild turns. Well, after commenting on the shit, right, I guess Sneako had taken that as, oh, he's trying to cancel me and shit for having an opinion. Stuff like that, which it was never really portrayed as canceling, in my opinion. More so just saying he thought he was weird as shit for that. But, you know, let me know in the comment section if you did think at this point it was a cancellation attempt. Curious to see if anyone thinks it does, or was rather. Curious to see if anyone agrees with that. But anyways, he accused him of that shit, and there wasn't really like a big response from Moist Critical or whatever. But he was continuously brought up by Sneako. Sneako calling him a bitch, whole lot of other things, several times, on several occasions, several platforms, right? Just keeping this beef alive. Doing what he could to keep it going. Which, by the way, kind of makes sense. I mean, if you go and look, even though, like I said, I only started watching him recently or had seen him recently, like, he has a massive platform. He just wasn't on the side of YouTube I was on. But you could understand why people would try to beef with him. You know, that's a lot of viewers coming with the beef. But another critical mistake that cost Sneako in this exchange, right, was there's an old clip on a podcast that surfaced of Sneako admitting to getting cucked. All right. He went to a basically like a scene from The Boys kind of party, and he chickened out and watches his girl get piped down. Okay, like he watched his girl get piped. No other way to describe it. All right, he had to hold that L, and he did. And then he went on to say everyone should hold that L. It was a wild sequence of a monologue. Like, who told him to do that? Who told him to speak on that? Who told him it was a good idea to admit to such things? Should be punched in the face. But anyways, he said that shit forever clipped on YouTube, right? Like, it's there. The reason it's super problematic is Sneako has taken on the persona of being an alpha male, right? It's hard to say you're an alpha male when you're a cuck, right? Like, that's a hard sell. It's a hard sell to the streets, you know, and say, hey, I'm a cuck, but I'm a beast, you know, like, I'm an alpha male. Like, yeah, that doesn't really flow, dog. Like, that shit don't really make that much sense. So, selling that image is kind of hard. And with that came eventual jokes from Moist Critikal, bringing up how, you know, he's admitted to being a cuck. So, you know, why are you talking crazy? Like, that's ridiculous, you know? And at this point, kind of getting sniped by Moist Critikal or Charlie so many times, he gets more and more absurd with the clapbacks, you know, constantly calling him out and whatever. And to the point, he was on a stream, like, recently. And on the stream, he was basically saying he was going to go see Moist Critikal. This shit escalates here. The beef escalates, okay? He starts flashing a gun. Is it a toy? Is it a glorified toy? That's up to the streets. I'll let you guys decide. But he was flashing a firearm. We know this to be the case. And he was saying he was going to come see him. And then he started saying, watch his clips, right? Showing what's gun magazines for his pistol. And this was something that really kind of made Moist Critikal mad in his response. Because he responded, right? He was like, yo, I've gone back and forth maybe a couple times with this guy, and I've said some things about him, but he keeps going on, and now he's fucking threatening to shoot me and shit. That's how he felt, right? He was saying I was going to come see you, and he was flashing a gun, and he was saying, watch these clips. Regardless if he's right on what's a clip and what's a magazine, you know what the intent was. So, Charlie felt threatened, hopped on the video, right? This video's popped off in terms of views. Like, holy shit. And he was just talking about how he's never tried to cancel Sneako. That's false. How he really just commented on some of his weird-ass takes. Like the Cuties movie take was weird as shit, as he said. And then he proceeded to say that he called him out for being a cuck. And that he is a cuck. It is what it is. And, you know, that's problematic with the image of being an alpha male. And that's really all it should have been. But, you know, Sneako kept going. Then he proceeded to lecture him on the difference between a clip and a magazine. Now, obviously, what's a clip? That term has been, like, glorified by hip-hop. Rappers say it all the time. Let's be real, it rhymes the best with most fucking words for someone rapping, right? So rappers have made that a famous term. Just saying clips in the gun. I'm gonna empty the clip. Shit like that, right? Like, come on. I say it all the time just because it's a funny-ass term. But it is a magazine. It is a gun magazine. That's technically what it is. And so he corrected him on that while showing off the rifle. Okay, so right now during the beef, one side has portrayed they indeed have bigger firearms than the other side. That has to be documented. And then he said he does not want to box Sneako, as Sneako has said several times that he wants to box Moist Critical. Moist Critical said he is not a fighter. He's not interested in getting hit in the face. And that he's pretty short. He's 5'6", he said. By his own statement, he said he's short. And that even though he goes to the gym, he'd probably lose to Sneako. In boxing, Sneako being someone who's a few inches taller and apparently really wants to box him. So he's like, dude, I'm not a fighter. I wouldn't be interested in fighting you. I'm just making fun of you. And Sneako, at this point, he's in a tough spot. Like, this is where we get into my opinion on the beef. He got absolutely cooked in the response video. He's kind of been getting cooked this whole time. He made a fatal mistake of ever talking about that cuck situation. Like, bringing that, letting that fly out there when you have internet beefs is crazy. You know you're going to get fried. Like, to have that floating around and you want to internet beef with people, I'm sorry, that's crazy as shit. So, in terms of who I think personally is winning this beef, I think it's Moist Critical. I think he's clearing them right now. Even showed off bigger guns. What a fucking plot twist. I did not see that coming. Like, I did not think he would just pull out the bigger straps. You know, that doesn't seem to be the kind of guy he is. But hey, man, Sneako brought that dog out in him, and it is what it is. So, curious to see if this beef continues. If you guys enjoy me covering real beefs like this and my fashion, let me know in the comment section down below, as well as the smashing the like button. And if you want to see me return with the Series 2 to the fiction side, let me know as well. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been your boy Jobbers and Goons, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.